What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ages of Film live stream Sunday, baby. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there who's a father. Um, what's up? Hope you're having a great day. Um, it, we're starting an hour early than usual, simply because I know it's Father's Day. So I know a lot of you probably have plans to do stuff with your fathers, your dads, whatever. So we're starting a little early so you guys can have time to do that. I don't know how many people are going to be able to join today. We'll kind of see who all we got, but I thought this would be fun. As you can tell by the title, we are ranking the big three slasher franchises: Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. 33 movies in total that we're doing. I'm excited for this. Hope you guys are too. I thought this would be fun because I haven't done this yet. I haven't ranked the Halloween movies on my channel at all yet, surprisingly. And I haven't ranked all these together. I have done a Nightmare on Elm Street review series where I went through and reviewed all of the Friday movies, all the Nightmare movies, but my opinion on some of them may have changed a little bit. So we'll kind of see where everything lands. Also, let me know on the sound how everything is sound wise. If I'm too loud, if I'm too quiet, if I need to fix some things, let me know, and we'll get into this. But first off, let's see who we got in the chat today. 32 comments. Wow, you guys are going nuts. I love it. Let's see who we got today. Mason, King of Horror, is in the house. What is up, Mason? Let's go, dude. Yeah, baby. Dominique St. Clair is here saying, hey, what's up, Dom? Hope you're doing well, man. Excited to see your list as well. Let's see. Terry made it. What's up, Terry? Terry saying hello, guys. Just to say hello because I'm watching the Euro Soccer Championship. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Sweetness. Well, thanks for dropping by, man. Thanks for making it. Glad to have you here. Hope you're doing well, man. Let's see. Dom is saying, here's my ranking: Jason, Freddie, Michael. Okay, interesting. Terry saying, hello, what's up, dude? Mason saying Batman Forever came out in 1995. Yes, it did. Mason saying Michael is your number one. Let's see. Anyone else that I miss? All right, cool beans, man. Well, let's not waste any time. We got 33 movies to do, so it's quite a lot. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on any one movie so that we can kind of power through a lot of these. But I'll kind of we'll talk about each movie a little bit and just kick back, man. Have fun. That's why I want us to just have fun with this. And just enjoy talking about these movies, man. So, yeah, let me pull my list up here. Come on, my computer is being really slow right now, not wanting to cooperate, of course. All right. Okay, cool. So 33 movies. Let's get ready to do this, man. I'm excited. Terry saying I will come back when the first half of the game is finished. Yeah, man, no worries. I appreciate you for being here. So yeah, just do your thing, man. We will still be here. So, Mason, number one for him is the original Halloween. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been kicking it with me for a while probably knows what my number one is going to be. I make no quarrels about it. I mean, you guys can probably see where my heart is here. But yeah, well, starting off at the bottom, work our way up. So let me know y'all's number 33. If you did make a list, you guys can, just follow along with me, I guess, and drop your rankings in as we go along. But my kicking it off at the bottom, my number 33, people. Here we go. Number 33 is Halloween Resurrection. Yeah, as you can see, it's half a star for Halloween Resurrection. I hate this movie with a passion. To me, this is the worst of the worst. I literally, I can't even give this movie a full star. I am a huge Michael Myers fan, a huge Halloween fan, and the disrespect that this movie shows to Michael, to my boy, is just unforgivable. I don't think it's well made at all. It doesn't have quality to it. It doesn't have any type of emotional impact or effect on me, and it's not rewatchable at all. So that's literally the definition of a half-star movie. Is a movie that you can't even sit through. It does nothing for you. And this is Halloween Resurrection for me. It literally angers me when I watch this movie. I feel my blood boil, and I hate this movie. I loathe this movie. To me, this is the worst of the Halloween movies, and it's the worst of all of these films. Just because of the hatred that I have for it, it angers me more than any of the other movies on this list. So, Halloween Resurrection is my number 33, coming in at the bottom, half a star for Resurrection. Let's see. Mason saying that movie does Michael bad. It does, dude, and it does him really bad. I mean, there's so many. The scene with Busta Rhymes where he's literally talking crap to Michael's face, and Michael just takes it and he turns around and walks off. Like, what? No, Michael, that's not Michael. Michael would not take that. Like James Jude Courtney's Michael, no, sir. He would have put a hole through Busta's face as soon as Busta opened his mouth. So, yeah, they just made Michael a wuss in this movie. There's no fear factor to Michael at all, to the shape. No one feared him. No one was afraid of him. He's not scary at all. He's just, it's a parody. It's a parody of Michael and of Halloween. So yeah, I kind of feel bad for Brad Loree, because I do feel like Brad Loree at least tried to do something with Michael and his performance. I don't think he was the worst. I don't think he gave the worst performance of Michael in the franchise. I felt like he did at least try. He just had nothing to work with at all. So yeah, there you go. Mason saying, what is the little bit that you like? There's nothing that I like. There's nothing that about this movie that I like. I hate this movie. I hate everything about it. I hate the look. I hate the characters. I hate the script. I hate the direction. I hate the everything. There's nothing about this movie that I like. It's literally half a star. That's the lowest that I can rank the movie. That any movie is half a star. It can't even get a full star for me. So, it is at the bottom for me. Mason saying the Michael in that movie is not himself. No, he's not. It's not the shape. It's definitely um not the shape at all. So all right. We will move on to number 32. What do I have for number 32? I am going with boom. Freddy's Dead at number 32. One star film. This movie is not very good. It sucks, man. This movie is just it's garbage. There's nothing really redeemable about Freddy's Dead. It's easily the worst of the Nightmare movies. They essentially make a parody of Freddy Krueger. It's a Looney Tunes cartoon. At this point they have lost all horror about Freddy Krueger. Everything that made Freddy frightening in the first one is gone in this one. He's not scary at all. He's a parody of himself is all he is. Um, the characters here, I don't give a rat's anus about any of the characters in this movie. To me, the acting is horrible. The directing is horrible. The script is atrocious. 5-year-old could have written a better Nightmare script than this. It's just, yeah. Freddy's Dead is just garbage. There's nothing redeemable about Freddy's Dead for me. It's just bad. It's just bad. The thing that puts this above Resurrection is it doesn't anger me the way that Resurrection angers me. Like, I legitimately get angry with Resurrection. I don't get angry necessarily with Freddy's Dead. I just get no enjoyment out of it whatsoever. And there is some anger that I do have with the movie because I do love Freddy, and Freddy is one of my favorite horror characters. So I don't like how they do him in this movie. But the level of anger that I have for Freddy's Dead is not nearly on the level that it is for Resurrection. So yeah, Freddy's Dead is my number 32. Let's see. Mason is saying, I love Freddy's Dead. The video game scene is funny. I love it so much. And I do know people out there that actually do like this movie, and that's awesome. Like, if you're one of those people that actually loves Freddy's Dead, I envy you. I really do, because I wish I could like this movie. But I just don't. I hate this movie. This is a movie that I dread coming to. Like, when I watched it for the Nightmare review series, I dreaded it, man. I knew it was coming up, and I was just like, "Oh, I gotta sit through this film again." But yeah, it's not a film I'm ever gonna seek out to throw on if it, unless I have a reason to watch it. But yeah, that's cool that you like it, man. That's cool. Let's see. Jerry Wilson is in the house saying, hey, brother, what's up, Jerry? Hope you're doing well, man. Glad that you could be here. Glad to see you in here, man. Jerry's also saying, smash that like button. Yeah, smash the like button helps out the video, guys. And afterwards, if you guys leave a comment in the comment section, that also is a way to help out the channel if you're looking to do so. So, yeah, thank you, Jerry, for that. Appreciate it, man. Let's see what else we got. Mason is saying, New Nightmare is not my thing, but it's okay. Mason saying, I like this one a little more than the original, not gonna lie. Mason, are you referring to new? You like Freddy's Dead? Freddy's Dead more than the original? Is that what you're saying? Because that baffles me. That's what you're saying. That's to me, that's crazy. That's lunatic. Uh, okay, maybe they are equal. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to number 31. Sorry, my throat is a little hoarse today. I don't sound the best. I apologize. All right, my number 31 is this bad boy right here. Jason Goes to Hell is my least favorite. My least favorite Friday movie. Jason Goes to Hell, 1 star. Yeah, this movie's garbage. It's bad garbage, man. Not a fan of this movie at all. It doesn't really have anything going for it, man. It's a 1 star film. You don't really get Jason in the movie. You get very little Jason. You get this weird Necronomicon or whatever they call it in the movie that just there's we had zero reason to think that this thing existed in prior movies. It just kind of comes out of nowhere, and they want you to buy into the fact that this is what's been driving Jason all along, when there's been no reason, no indication of anything like this in prior movies. The characters, I don't care about any of these characters really. I know a lot of people like the Duke. I'm one of the few people that don't. Like, when you think about what he's doing, man, he's essentially trying to profit off of some secret that he just happens to know about Jason. How is it that he acquired this information? We don't know. We just have to buy into the fact that he knows it. The only way he could have known it is if he would have somehow knew Pamela, maybe, but Pamela was long dead by this point. So how is it that he's the one guy that got this information? Tommy couldn't get it, but this random guy just acquires this information. He's breaking people's fingers and hands, and like, there's just no, what is there to like about him? What is there to like about the Duke? He's an asshole. He really is. I mean, to me, I look at him, I'm like, I don't see what everyone else sees with this guy. Why they like him so much? So yeah, to me, again, there's nothing really likable or redeemable about Jason Goes to Hell. The middle act is incredibly boring. I get really just taken out of the film. Story is garbage, doesn't make any sense. I don't think the acting is that great. Honestly, the best part of this movie is Freddy's glove coming up out of the ground at the very end. That's it. And that's like 2 seconds of the film, and it's the best 2 seconds of the film. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Mason is saying Jason Goes to Hell is better than Jason X. Wrong, sir. Wrong. Jason X is actually, you'll see where that comes in for me, but it's not at the bottom. I'll say that it's not at the bottom. Terry is saying not seen Jason Goes to Hell yet. Brother, don't waste your time is what I would say. It's going to be a waste of an hour and a half of your life, in my opinion. Still, I mean, if you want to check it out, feel free to do so. I never want to tell someone what they will like and what they don't like. Film is subjective. Everyone, has their own taste and, preference in film. So maybe you will watch it and like it. I hope you do. If you do check it out, I hope you like it. But if you want my opinion would be avoid it at all cost. So, um, let's see. But heard nothing bad comments about. Yeah, yeah. It's not good, man. It's not very good. Mason is saying, look of Jason is amazing, even though he's not in his look for a lot of this movie. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's if there is anything positive I could say about Jason Goes to Hell, it would be I actually do like the mask. I think the mask actually represents who Jason is as a character in a number of ways. So that would be one thing. If I had to say something positive about it, that would be it. Let's see. Mason is saying, I love how bloody the movie is. I'm a bloody guy. Yeah, I mean, I like blood in a slasher movie, but I like kills that are set up well. I don't necessarily care for blood's sake. I want it to pay off. I want there to be a good build up and a good payoff. And Jason Goes to Hell, I just feel like they're just splattering blood around just to do it, and that doesn't have the same effect for me. Um, Terry is asking, "Am I drinking a Monster?" No, today we got a Full Throttle. It's another type of energy drink. They didn't have my yerba. I'm typically I'm drinking a yerba mate, but they didn't have any today, so I had to settle for something else. So I grabbed a Full Throttle. But yeah, it's pretty good. Um, Terry saying, I know you. Yes, I do like monsters and energy drinks for the most part. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Terry is asking also, hey Clayton, have you seen Smiley Face Killers? I thought it was pretty good. Don't understand the bad reviews. It is atmospheric. Terry, I have not seen that. Have not seen it. You if you like it, man, I will. I'll see what I can do. Being in film school, I have just a truckload of movies that I have to watch all the time. So um, I will try to get around to it. But Smiley Face Killers, man, I will. I'll see what I can do with that. Patient saying, so we go from Jason to drinks. Yeah. Oh, okay. Terry's saying if you like It Follows, you might like that film. Okay, that's cool. And I do like It Follows. Very good movie. All right, moving on to our number 30. Number 30. All right, this one, I look, full disclaimer, this one is going to get me in a lot of trouble. I will acknowledge that right now. This one is going to get me in a lot of trouble. Brace yourselves, everyone. Brace yourselves for this one. Don't hate me too much for this. Again, remember, this is just my opinion. Um, if you disagree, and I know everyone will disagree with me on this because I'm like one in the 1% of people that seem to have this view on this movie. So don't hate me too much. It's just my opinion. But my number 30 is the original Friday the 13th. Oh man, what can you do? What can you do? The original Friday, man. Yeah, it's 1-star film. It's my number 30. I just no. I do not get what so many people love about this movie. I don't get it. When I watch this movie, all I see is garbage. The production is horrible, the writing is horrible, the acting is horrible, the cinematography is horrible, the script is horrible, the pacing is horrible, the characters are horrible. There's nothing likable about this movie. I don't get why so many people love this movie. Pamela Voorhees is not scary at all. She's not intimidating whatsoever. She's an old lady. What is she going to do? If she came through the store right now, my heart rate wouldn't accelerate one beat. I can easily defend myself against an old 60-year-old woman. Like, to me, she's not frightening at all. She's not intimidating. She poses no threat to me whatsoever. I thought the reveal was horrible. They just throw her in the last reel of the film and expect you to buy into the fact that she's been the killer the whole time, even though she was able to somehow throw a 180-pound body through a window. You expect me to buy that? You expect me to believe that? Really? No. You expect me to believe that she had enough strength from the ground to thrust a large kitchen knife up through a mattress all the way up through a person's neck? No, I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm almost insulted that they would think that my intelligence level would be that low that I would actually buy into that crap, because I don't. And then the final girl is a not a good final girl at all. She's just someone that gets lucky and manages to be the last person standing. She doesn't, there's no real reason why she should have been the final girl. It's not like she had some toughness or intelligence that the other characters didn't have. She just happened to be the last one that Pamela went for. That's it. And then she goes out onto the lake, and after everyone else is dead, instead of doing the most obvious thing that a person would do in that situation, which is get to the road and get find a ride, go to the police station and report it, she just instead gets out in a canoe, paddles out into the middle of the lake, and falls asleep at night. Which makes absolutely no sense, and to me is the dumbest and worst thing you could do in that situation. So yeah, I say about my review on this, guys. I think the original Friday is dog shit. I really do. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. I always keep it 100 with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If you like this movie, kudos to you, man. But I'm not one of the people that like this movie. It's one of the worst Friday movies in my opinion. It's second from the bottom, only above Jason Goes to Hell. They're both 1-star movies. The only thing that keeps this one above Jason Goes to Hell for me is the setting. I do like the camp setting. It's actually, it's kind of fun. And there's a couple of good dialogue moments from Pamela, but that's about it. That's literally all this movie has going for it. Doesn't have Jason. He's what I come to the Friday franchise for. He's not in here. I don't give a rat's anus about any of the other characters in this movie. So, yeah, I don't see what the appeal and the love for this movie is, but yeah, just my opinion. But there you go. It's my number 30. Let's see how bad the chat is going to go off on me for this one. From Texas is in the house. What is up, man? Saying Jason Goes to Hell, Final Friday, and Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood are my top 2 favorites of the Friday the 13th franchise. That is crazy, dude. What are you smoking? What are you on? That's what I want to know. Can you give me some? That's my second question. First question is, what are you smoking? What are you on? And can you send me some? Because I need to take some when I watch those movies. But That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, here we go. Oh man, you guys are awesome. From text saying, like a lot of people, I used to hate Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, but now I have some dumb fun with it, and that's cool, man. I'm glad you do. I have not gotten to that point yet with that movie. I still hate the movie, but if you've kind of come around on it, man, that's awesome. Good for you. Um, Mason saying, if she came out of that door, I think you would be scared at least a little. Look, man, like this is not like I'm not trying to toot my own horn here at all. It's not like a macho thing. It's just being completely honest with you guys. Um, I know for one, I know how to use a gun. Secondly, I know how to use a knife. Third, I have, martial arts training. Um, I know how to, if I need to kill someone, I have training to do that. I know how to do that. And there's nothing about a 60-year-old woman that I'm going to be scared of. Can she beat me up? No. Can she overpower me? No. Can she outrun me? No. Is she more skilled than I am? No. There's no reason for me to be afraid of her. And I'm not. Um, Trust me. Like there are people out there that I would be afraid of crossing. Jason Voorhees would be one of them. Michael Myers would be another one. Um, Mike Tyson would be another one. Like it's not just me being like, oh, I'm not afraid of anybody. No, there are people that I would be afraid of crossing in real life. But a 60-year-old woman is not one of them. There's not a 60-year-old woman on the planet that's gonna cause my heart rate to go up at all. So yeah, to me, she's one of the worst reveals in a slasher movie because there's nothing frightening about her, in my opinion. So Jason in the lake is amazing. Yeah, but I mean it's like 2 seconds. It's cool scenes, cool shot, but it's 2 seconds and it doesn't save the movie for me. Um Yeah, and Mason saying the final girl gets killed and by Jason Part Two. Exactly. Like it wasn't like she had some, she was just really skilled and was really smart and she was just able to, fight Pamela off. For one, she didn't even have to go up against Jason in the first one. Secondly, it was simply because she was the last one that Pamela chose to go for. It wasn't like she would, she had anything special that no one else had. Um, she was simply the last one that Pamela went for. That's it. Um, Mason saying soundtrack is amazing. It's all right. It's not bad. I don't think it's great. Um, but it doesn't hurt the movie. I'll say that it doesn't hurt the movie. It's not bad. Um, this movie is a masterpiece. Disagreed. Disagreed. Um, it has Jason as a kid, but it's 2 seconds, and again, doesn't really count. It's not Jason throughout the movie. He's not the killer. He's not the main character of the film. He's pretty much Freddy's glove of Jason Goes to Hell. Like, would you say Freddy is in Jason Goes to Hell? No. You would say there's a 2 second cameo of his glove. That's what you pretty much have to say about Jason in the original Friday movie. Is he in it? No. He's got like a 2 second cameo. That's it. Like to me, it doesn't count. From Texas is saying, I do like the original Friday 13th from 1980, but I like a lot of the sequels much more. Yeah, I like a lot of the sequels. Obviously, all of the sequels minus one, more than this one. So let's see. Dom is saying Jason is stronger than Michael Myers is just human with some supernatural stuff to him. So the thing is, Dom, though, because Michael Myers has supernatural power to him, you don't know what his strength, where his strength level really is. Like, if he is actually possessed by the devil himself, how strong could he actually be? You know, like, it raises, like, how, where is the cutoff for his strength? And to me, that's terrifying, because how strong is this guy, is this entity able to be? A lot stronger than me. I mean, we've seen Michael do some pretty impressive, have some pretty impressive feats of strength. So, um, but I mean, for me, I would say Michael and Jason are probably close to equal in strength. Because again, we don't know how strong the entity that has taken Michael over is. It's, we can't just say, well, Michael's just has human strength, because he doesn't just have human strength. I mean, there's obviously a supernatural power working through him that's enabling him to lift people up with one hand, to break rifles, you know, with his bare hands, you know, like to squish a guy's face with one stomp of his foot. Like, things that normal people can't do, Michael is doing, and he's doing it effortlessly. So, I mean, I would probably say Michael and Jason are in, you know, same ballpark for strength. If you want to give a slight edge to Jason, that's fine. I won't necessarily argue that, but I do think they're probably in the same realm. Mason saying, I think we need Jason Michael showdown. That would be awesome. If they actually did a feature film of that, that would be sick. That would be sick. Terry saying, I did not know you were a film student. Yes, I'm on my 3rd month right now of film school. So, yeah, something pretty new, I guess. All right, let's keep going. Moving on to number 29. Let's what do I have for 29? All right, so my number 29 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is my number 29, 1.5 stars for me. Yeah, not a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 at all. Either cut, the theatrical cut or director's cut, not a fan of either one. I don't think Rob Zombie, and I could be wrong on this, but just judging from the 2 films of him that we got, I don't know that Rob Zombie understands or understood who or what Michael Myers is or is supposed to be, because he essentially just made Michael this tall, brute serial killer. But that's not who Michael is. If you watch the original, that's not who Michael is. Michael is the Shape. I don't even think he's referred to as the Shape one time in the Rob Zombie movies. Like, he's just a person. We get his whole backstory in his first Halloween. And in his Halloween 2, he literally has Michael unmasked for the majority of this movie. Michael's just wandering around in a cornfield, not doing anything productive. He's grunting, he's making noises, he even talks in the extended cut, he even talks at the end. Like, Rob Zombie just breaks all the rules that you don't break in a Halloween film, and just, it shows no respect for who that character is. It doesn't show that he even knows who this character's supposed to be at his core, because it doesn't resemble the Shape. To me, it's just a serial killer with a mask, but that happens to have the name of Michael Myers. But yeah, I don't think Rob Zombie understood the character of his own movies, which maybe should have been a red flag to the studios, that this guy isn't even he clearly doesn't have a understanding of who the Shape is, who Michael's supposed to be. So I think that Rob Zombie would have done really good at directing a Texas Chainsaw movie. I think he would have done really well at directing a Wrong Turn movie. But Halloween, I don't think he needed to touch. And I'm not a fan of his second one at all. The white horse crap is just stupid. The coolest part of this movie is the first 10 minutes of the movie that we get with Michael in the hospital where he's chasing down Laurie. That's the best part of the movie. But even that, the enjoyment you get from that scene is then pulled from you when you find out that it was all just a dream. It then ruins any enjoyment you get from those first 10 minutes because it never actually happened. So yeah, to me, it's just, yeah, it's a disappointing movie, really. So what it has going for it, why it gets a star and a half and not just 1 star, is I do think the performances here were pretty good. In particular, the performance by Brad Dourif when he comes in and sees Annie, when he finds Annie's body. That performance, man, is heart-wrenching. You feel his pain in that moment, dude. So Dourif turns in a great performance. And I do think Scout Taylor Compton, for the script that she's given and for the role that she's given to play, I do think she plays that particular character well. Now, I don't find her character enjoyable in this movie. To me, Laurie is, I think they blow it way over the top with her PTSD type of stuff. She becomes a character that I can't even really cheer for at this point, because everything that was likable about her in the first Rob Zombie movie is gone in this one. So yeah, they don't do her justice either. But I do think the acting performances here were actually pretty good. It does have an emotional punch with Brad Dourif finding his daughter. And I do think, as far as the cinematography and the production value is a little bit, it's respectable. It's respectable enough for me to give it a star and a half. So still not a good movie at all. It's down here at number 29. It's the second worst Halloween film in my opinion. But yeah, there you go. Rob Zombie's Halloween is my number 29. Let's see what the chat is saying. Terry saying, do I want to be a director? Actually, my degree is in visual arts, so it's could be more of it's essentially a cinematographer degree is what I'm getting, a degree in cinematography. Now I'll get training in directing and producing and writing and all the other elements of film, but my focus, my emphasis will be on cinematography. That's kind of what I'm going in for. Mason saying, you ever going to make movies? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I ever want to, try my hand at the directing stuff. I don't know. That's really my calling. Maybe one day something will happen, but cinematography is kind of more where I'm aiming for. Mason is saying, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is not like the original Halloween 2, but it's Rob Zombie. It's different. He gave me one of my favorite movies, House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah, it's definitely got his own touch to it. You can definitely tell it's a Rob Zombie movie for sure. Let's see. Dom saying Rob Zombie made his own take on Michael. Is not supposed to be John Carpenter's version. That's true. He did make it his own. But you can at least still stay true to who that character is supposed to be. It's like Christopher Nolan when he did the Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman trilogy. Christian Bale's Batman is a completely different version of Batman than Michael Keaton's version in the 89 Batman. Completely different version of the character, but it's still Batman. Nolan still stayed true to who that character is at his core. But when you watch Rob Zombie's Halloween, that Michael Myers is not Michael at all. That's not who Michael is. So there's a difference between making a character your own and but yet still staying true to who that character is fundamentally, and then removing that character from who they're supposed to be, you know. And for me, I felt like Rob Zombie removed Michael from who he's supposed to be. That's kind of my issue with that. Let's see. From Texas saying, "We just go to hell. I like the lead guy, John D. LeMay, and I like that it's like The Hidden, but with Jason in it. It's got some great kills and gruesome gore, and I like the score as well." Well, there you go. Let's see. Terry is saying he prefers the Greens trilogy over Zombies. Yeah. 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 Terry's saying, I want my hero to be likable. Agreed. Yeah. You want to be able to get behind the protagonist. You know, you don't want a protagonist that's not even a likable character. 100%. 100%. Dom coming in saying Rob Zombie's Halloween is better slasher than the original. That is true. That is true. It is a better slasher movie than the original. And I would argue that's because I don't think Carpenter was necessarily trying to make a great slasher movie as much as he was trying to make a great thriller. A great thriller and horror film, because he was greatly influenced by Hitchcock and Hitchcock's films, and wanted to do something kind of along those lines. So I don't think he was trying to go for an all-out slasher movie. He was trying to make a really good thriller, and that was, you know, exciting and scary at the same time, and I think he achieved that. But I would agree with you. Yes. As far as just pure slasher film, I think obviously Rob Zombie's Halloween was a better and more true slasher film than the original. I would agree with that. Halloween film because he's the star. Yep. Yep. Man, you guys are just going off. This is awesome. From Texas is saying, oh yeah, zombies Halloween movies, they're definitely an acquired taste. You either love them or hate them. It's very true. Very true. I don't know anyone that's just kind of on the fence with the Rob Zombie movies. That you either love them or hate them. 100%. All right, let's keep moving. We're almost 50 minutes in, and we're only at number 29. All right, we got to speed this up, guys. I'm just gonna start powering through some of these. My number 28. What do I have for 28? My number 28 is, where did it go? Okay, here's my number 28. We got Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, a 1.5 for me. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this movie. Jason is essentially sidelined in his own movie. He takes a backseat to Tina in this movie. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like seeing Jason just get his butt kicked by this girl for the entire time. Like, people are like, oh, it's such a great matchup, Carrie versus Jason. No, that's not a good matchup. Why? Because Carrie's just going to body Jason the entire time. Jason's not going to be able to do anything to her, and he doesn't. He doesn't. The only time he even touches her is when he grabs her and pulls her to the basement when she's not looking. That's the only time he even touches her. The rest of the fight is just her throwing Jason around. Like, that's it. It's not a good fight. A good fight is when you have two people that are close to equal going at it, or a fight that's really exciting. This fight wasn't that. These two are not equal. Tina is bodying Jason the entire time. She's literally kicking his butt the entire fight. And I, as a fan of Jason, I don't like seeing that. I want to see Jason, you know, take some names, dig some holes and take some souls, man. And here, not only does he take a back seat in his own movie, he also gets bodied by a girl in his own movie. If you're a Jason fan, why would you like that? Why would you like? I'm not even the biggest Jason fan. I don't even like seeing that. So yeah, the look of Jason is awesome in this movie. Love the look, but looks alone are not going to make a movie for me. I need something more than that. And to me, again, I don't think they treat Jason well in this movie. And yeah, I'm just not a fan. So, Friday Part 7 is my number 28. Moving on to 27, we have 27. We have Halloween Ends, also a star and a half. Not a fan of this movie at all. To me, again, really disrespectful to Michael. They definitely do him dirty in this movie. He gets pushed around by Corey, gets his mask stolen. Again, doesn't resemble Michael of the original film. He's doing tag team death matches with another guy in this movie. It's very disappointing, and just not a fan. I have no desire to rewatch it. The things that has going for it and why it comes above the movies below it, it is shot very well. I think David Gordon Green does a great job with the look. The cinematography looks beautiful in this movie. The score is on point. I do think the performances are very good. And the mask and the look of Michael is really good. So it does have things going for it, more so than the movies below it. So that's why I would have it above the ones it is over. Still not a good movie. Easily the worst of that trilogy. Not a movie that I like. So it's my number 27. Coming in at 26. Number 26, we have Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, also a star and a half. Pretty bad film. I don't think it's it. The execution is there for me. It's doesn't have a good script. It's very convoluted. To me, it's hard to even follow what exactly is going on. Yeah, I not a fan. There's nothing in it that I really enjoyed. It's got a couple cool kills. I think the motorcycle kill is one of the most gnarly and most savage kills in the franchise. That's an awesome moment. But overall, yeah, I don't care about the story. It doesn't interest me at all. I don't really like how they use Freddy in the movie. The surrounding characters are kind of weak for me as well. So yeah, Nightmare Part 5, number 26. I would be more inclined to rewatch this one though than Halloween Ends, just because it doesn't really anger me the way that Halloween Ends does. Actually kind of anger me. For me, Nightmare Part 5 is just not a fun watch. I just don't have a good time with it. That's another thing working against it. But yeah, Nightmare Part 5 is my number 26. Moving on to 25, and then I will take a break to read y'all's comments. Let me just do my number 25 real quick. Number 25, I have Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, also a star and a half. Not a very good film. Um, I don't think this movie, though, is the worst in the franchise. I mean, clearly, I don't think it's the worst in the franchise because there are movies in the Friday franchise I have below it. Um, but I think this movie has some things going for it. I do find it somewhat entertaining. I like the hillbilly mom and her son in the backwoods. You know, they're kind of funny. They add some humor to it. It does have some cool kills in it for sure. It's got that going for it. I think the suspense works a little better in it than in some of the other movies. So I do think it does have some things going for it. But overall, I'm not a fan of the look of Jason. I don't care for the mask a whole lot. The reveal was kind of weak, in my opinion. I don't like this version of Tommy Jarvis that we get. It's just, yeah, and the production value is not very good either in it as well. So, yeah, I don't hate this movie. I don't think it's a very good movie, but it's got some things going for it. There are a few things that I can get some entertainment out of in it, but yeah, overall it's again, it's not a movie I'm gonna go grab off the shelf to just throw on and watch. So yeah. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. You guys have been going off. Um, let me go up here. 52 messages, man. You guys are crazy. Oh, Mason saying Friday Part 7 is a masterpiece. Poor Mason. Poor Mason. Uh, Terry's saying, hey, you are harsh on this movie. I'm honest. That's what I am. I'm honest with my opinion. Uh, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I've said it many times on my channel. I'm not a YouTuber that's just gonna tell his viewers what they want to hear. Like, I'm going to give my honest opinion on movies. So yeah, I know my opinion can piss off a lot of people. I don't try to offend people or make people upset, but I'm also not trying to be fake or just give in to what everyone else says or thinks about a movie. If I don't like a movie, I'm going to tell you I don't like the movie. Um, I don't have any problem saying that. So, uh, yeah, and I'm not a fan of Friday Part 7. And I don't apologize for that. Let's see. Mason is saying he does not get kicked around. Bro, he gets kicked around the entire fight, dude. He gets kicked around the entire fight. He doesn't even land a shot on Tina. He literally doesn't land a shot on Tina. The only time he even touches her is when he grabs her and pulls her into the basement. That's it. The entire fight, he is literally just getting his ass kicked, handed to him. He gets bodied in that fight, bro. It's not even close. It's not a close fight. It's not a good fight, because a good fight, again, is a close fight or an entertaining fight. But when you have one guy just dominating the entire fight, that's not a good fight, dude. He gets bodied by Tina in that movie. Let's see. Mason saying Jason can't die. I mean, he was pretty much dead in Friday Part 6 until they brought him back to life. But zombie Jason, sure. That's a masterpiece. masterpiece, bro. A masterpiece. Let's see. Friday Part 7 is one of my favorites. Dom is saying the New Blood is not my favorite, but the Carrie versus Jason fight was enjoyable to see. Terry is saying the fight does not make the movie that bad. But Terry, the thing is, it doesn't have anything else going for it other than a good-looking Jason. Tina is just whining the entire movie. The love interest with her and the guys felt very forced, didn't feel natural. The other side characters in the lodge, not a single one of them was likable. The doctor was a horrible character. It's just it didn't have anything going for it, and the fight didn't help. And the fact that it sidelined its main character, Jason, in his own movie, I mean, those are things that they're definitely going to bring the movie down for me. Mason saying, I think it's a fair fight because Jason can't die. He may not be able to die, but what is he going to do though? That's the thing. His defense might be that he can't die, but he also can't conjure any offense. So it's like if you don't have any offense in a fight, you're just going to get bodied. I mean, yeah, you may not die necessarily, but if you can't work up any offense, then you're still going to get your ass whipped, and that's what happens in that fight. Let's see. Michael can't die. I mean, they pretty much kill him off and Halloween ends. Yeah. Month ago, 35 minutes. Part 5, masterpiece. Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 5 is fun. Freddy's amazing in this movie. I list one as much as the original. Freddy's always good in every film he's in. Hate on me if you like. Nightmare 5 was just okay, average. From text saying, I love the look of Jason Part 7, and I do like the performance of the main actress in it, Laura Park Lincoln, and she's one of my fellow native Texans, so that's another reason for me to like her. That's fair. I love Friday 5 even with no Jason. Female cast is really great. Roy is fun. I do the cast. It's over in Candy Bar. The film is fine. Not my favorite Friday, but it's enjoyable to see. But fun. Excellent. It's not Jason, it's Ray. Okay, I go back to match, starting again. I love people who give their opinions, real ones. Yeah, Mason. I know, and trust me, I've seen YouTubers out there that you can tell by what they're saying and how they're saying it. They're just feeding in to the majority. They're just feeding the majority. It's not a true opinion. It's not an authentic opinion because of how they articulate it. And then when you hear that they can't really even defend their position on it, that also shows that it just kind of goes, they're just feeding the masses. They're just going with what everyone else says about that movie. That's not me, dude. I like if I happen to like a movie that other people love, it's because I genuinely love that movie and I can defend my reasonings for why I love that movie. If I happen to not like a movie that a lot of people don't like, it's because I genuinely don't like that movie and I can defend my reasons why I don't like that movie. But if I don't like a movie that other people love, I'm going to stand by it. And I'm not going to just say that I like the movie because everyone else loves it. That's just not me. I make it may not be popular, and people may not like that, but that's what you get with me. So I keep it real with you guys, man. All right, let's move on to, what is it? 24. We're on to 24. All right, 24. I'm going with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, 2-star film. So we are up a notch here in overall quality. We're up to 2 stars here. It's still not a very good film. I don't really like Halloween 3. I don't think it's very good. It's not, it's not the worst. It's obviously better than the movies lower than it. But I'm still not a fan of Halloween 3. I think for me, for the longest time, the reason why I didn't like it was because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. And I was like, you can't have a Halloween movie without having Michael Myers. But then I kind of got over that reasoning. And my reasons for why I don't like that movie now is not because it doesn't have Michael. It's because I don't think it's a good movie. Period. Like we're introduced to the main our main guy in the movie that we follow throughout this film. We're introduced to him by him already cheating on his wife with a girl that's young enough to be his daughter. Why? Why would I get on board? Why would I invest with that guy? He's already my first impression of him, he introduces himself to me in the most deplorable way. So I already don't give a rat's anus about this guy. So, and because he's the main guy that we're following throughout the film, I'm already checked out. I don't care about this guy. I don't care about this girl. And I don't care about any of the other characters in this movie. I do think it does at least have a coherent script to it. I think the script is coherent. It you can follow the plot points along the way. I do think it's somewhat competently made. There are certainly issues with it, technical issues with it, but I do think it at least is decently made, competently. It's got a coherent script. I do think the villain it's kind of cool. I don't think he's as great as what some people make him out to be, but yeah, it's Halloween 3 is just not. I don't care for the story. I don't care for the characters. It doesn't have a lot of rewatch value to me. So yeah, Halloween 3 is my number 24. Moving on to number 23, we have 23, we have Halloween Part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, also a 2-star movie. Again, not a movie that I like a whole lot. I think that they really they had a perfect setup coming out of Part 4, which was a great film. They just fumbled the football with Part 5, man. Just didn't capitalize on what Part 4 gave them, and that was really upsetting. I don't like that they killed off Rachel within the first 15 minutes of this movie. She was actually a really great final girl. I don't like the mask in this one is horrible. I do not like the mask in this one. Yeah, Loomis just seems very over the top and almost just like a creep in this movie with how he's talking to Jamie. Yeah, some of the production design looks really bad. The weird, dumb humor that they try to bring in with the cop characters, the buddy cop duo, was just stupid. And Tina is one of the most annoying women on the planet that has ever lived or ever existed. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie. It does have some nostalgia power to it, which is one reason I have it where I have it. I saw this movie pretty early on, and I saw this movie a lot when I was a kid, and so it does carry a lot of nostalgia power to it. So it does have some emotional enjoyment with it. I do think the third act gets pretty good. You know, the field chase where Michael's in the car and he's chasing down Lori, or not Lori, Jamie and her friend in that field. There's some good suspense building there. The score was pretty good. I do like some of the kills here. So it does have some things going for it, for sure. I like the chase between Michael and Jamie in the third act. So it's got some things going for it that I do like. It does have a lot of nostalgia power with it as well. I think Don Shanks does turn in a respectable performance as Michael. But yeah, it's still not a very good film. And let's not forget that this movie actually had a scene where Michael sheds a tear. Why? Yeah, that's that. I mean, that is a big no-no. That is like one of the biggest no-nos that you could make in a Halloween film is make Michael sympathize with anybody. This is literally evil incarnate. He could very well be the devil himself. There should be absolutely no emotion there because the human of Michael Myers is gone. It's just the shape that we have. So why is the shape feeling anything for anybody? So that scene is a disgrace to Halloween and to the Michael Myers character. That scene is unforgivable. But overall, as a viewing experience, I have a decent enough time because again, there's a lot of nostalgia with this movie for me. And I do think they do some cool stuff in that third act. So 2-star movie, not very good, but I do find it more rewatchable than the movies below it. Coming in at number 22, we have Halloween H2O, also a 2-star movie. Not really a fan of this film. But yeah, Michael matters to me. Michael matters, and I don't think Chris Duran did a great job as Michael in this movie. All the different masks that they use is just awful. Yeah, just horrible stuff, man. The masks don't look good. I don't think they utilize the score very well. I don't like the setting in this movie at that college dormitory, whatever it is. Yeah, I really don't care about these characters a whole lot either. Laurie is fine. I think that Jamie Lee Curtis turns in a good performance as as Laurie in this movie. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really have much going for it. I don't like the look of Michael. I don't like the performance of Michael. I don't like how they use Michael. And when you don't get Michael right in a movie, it's going to be hard for me to have a good experience with a movie because Michael's what I come to Halloween for. I don't care. I mean, I care about Laurie. I do care about Laurie. I like Laurie, but I don't come to Halloween movie for Laurie. She can kick rocks. I don't give a crap. I come for Michael. So he's who I care about the most. So when he's not done right in a movie, it bothers me. I don't care how well you do all the other characters. If Michael's not done right, I'm not going to get on board with it. So, H2O, it's got some things going for it, but I'm not a fan of this movie. It's number 22 for me. Coming in at number 21. 21, we have 21. We have Friday Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, also a 2-star film. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this movie is as bad as what a lot of people make it out to be. It's not very good. It's a 2-star film, not nothing more than that. But I've heard people put this one at like the bottom of their list, and I'm like, no, no, there's no way that you could tell me that Jason Goes to Hell is a better movie than Takes Manhattan. There's no way that you could tell me the original Friday is a better film than Takes Manhattan. Um, I I I wouldn't say that I like part eight, um, but it's better than what some people give it credit for. You get a lot of Jason, which I like. Again, I come to the Friday franchise for Jason. I want to see Jason. I want to see Jason do his thing. They give me that in Friday Part Eight. I like the setting being on a boat because it's close quarters. It makes things feel tighter. It makes it, for me, it actually builds the tension and the suspense more because Jason could be right around the corner. There's not a whole lot of places you can run from him. You can't really run from him when you're on a boat. And the setting is just kind of cool, being on a boat as well. It's got some cool kills in it as well. It's got two really great kills in the film, in my opinion. So yeah, it's got things going for it. I'll say that. It's got things going for it. Is it a perfect film? Not by a landslide. Are there issues with the film? Absolutely. I'm not saying this is a good film, but I don't think it's as bad as what some people make it out to be. So yeah, Friday Part 8 is my number 21 and my number 20, and then I'll catch up with the chat here. But my number 20 is where is my number 20? Here we go. My number 20, I have Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, also a 2-star film. Yeah, it's just a weird film. It feels like it doesn't belong in the franchise, man. It doesn't abide by any of the rules from the first Nightmare movie. Um, I I don't think it's as well made as the original. I don't care for the characters as much as I cared about the characters from the original. Yeah. It's just weird. It's just a weird movie. It's doing things that make absolutely no sense, and it's expecting me to buy them. It's expecting me to just accept what it's doing. But the problem is, I saw the first one. that that's that's the problem. I saw the first one. And I saw the first one before I saw this one. So I know what should be going on. And I don't just buy and accept everything that part two is doing and trying to get me to be on board with. Because I saw the first one. I know what the rules are supposed to be, and yet they just like everything that you thought you knew about Freddy and how he works from the first one, just kick out the window. Here's a new Freddy, a new set of rules. Buy into them and accept them. Uh, no, no, I'm not, because it's still supposed to be a sequel. Like there's even the reference about the story of Nancy, how in her diary that Jesse comes across, and so it's clearly still tied to the first one, but it doesn't abide by any of the rules of the first one, and yet it still wants me to buy it, and I just don't, man. It's just poorly executed. I think the concept is somewhat, I think it's got an interesting concept, but the execution is just really bad in my opinion. So yeah, Nightmare Part 2 is my number 20. All right, let's catch up on some of the chats going on here. Let's see how much you guys disagree with me on this one. Uh, do, 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 do. Uh, do, do, do. Dominique saying, I don't like Freddy 2 is not my favorite, but everyone loves Freddy or Friday Part 2. Gotcha. I really like Friday Part 2. I'll just say that. Um, Mason saying, I love Halloween 3. Of course you would, Mason. Of course you would. Uh, yeah, the killer is I can respect the killer in Halloween 3 for sure. Michael's on a TV. Yeah, but that doesn't really count. He's not part of the story. Uh, I love the three masks. The ending was awesome. Did not expect such a downbeat ending. Um, let's see. That's the reason he was fooling around because he's not married anymore. Mm, I feel like he was. I feel like he was. I could be wrong. You could, you could be right about that, Dom. But I feel like he was because he's like trying not to get caught. That's the thing. Like that's why he runs off with her. He's trying not to get caught. Um, so I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen Halloween 3. I will admit that it's been a good minute. But I feel like they were. Either way, he's still running around with a girl that's young enough to be his daughter. That's just gross and wrong, in my opinion. So, yeah, it helps the case out a little bit if that's the case because he's not cheating necessarily at that point, but it still doesn't endure me to him anymore. Um, yeah. Mason saying Halloween 5 is so much fun. It is somewhat fun. I do have a lot of nostalgia with Halloween 5, so I can get on board with that. The kills are good. Agreed. Kills are good. Um, I see. I don't like the mask in Halloween 5. I really don't. Um, you were 5. I was 5 when I saw the original Halloween. I was a little bit older when I saw 4 and 5. But I was 5 when I saw the original. When I saw Halloween 2, maybe 6 or 7, maybe. It was a little bit later after the original Halloween. That original Halloween did a number on me when I was 5 years old because that was the first horror movie I ever saw. Like I didn't have any warm up to Halloween. It was just boom. Here you go. Here's the boogeyman. Um, Good luck. So it did a number on me. I had to wait a little bit before I saw some of the sequels, but Halloween H2O is a masterpiece. Disagree. um uh Mason saying, who's your least favorite character in H2O? Is you hate a lot of them. My least favorite in H2O is LL Cool J. To me, he's a complete waste of a character. He did nothing productive in that movie. You could have taken him out and it would have changed absolutely nothing with the story at all. He did not need to be there. He served absolutely no purpose. Uh, See, and I don't like wasted characters in any movie. Throwaway characters that don't affect the script or the story, I don't like in any movie. It's not just H2O. Pick any movie with a wasted character, I don't like them. Period. If you're gonna introduce me to characters in the movie, make the characters have an impact. Have a reason for the characters to be in that story that you're trying to tell. And LL Cool J, what's one thing in that movie that they needed him to be there for? It's not to get, Josh Hartnett's character out of the. They could have escaped anyways. There's a billion and one ways and reasons why you could have had them get off the campus. LL Cool J's character was not needed for that. So, but that's the only thing that he really even does, and they don't need him for that. But outside of that, what's one thing in that movie that he is needed for the story that they're telling? Nothing. He's not the one that kills Michael. He's not the one that wounds Michael. He's not the one that again, it doesn't affect the story in any way. You take him out, it changes absolutely nothing with that movie. Not a single thing changes. He is the very definition of a wasted character in that movie. So yeah. Friday 8 is a masterpiece. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but I don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be. The kills are good. Kills are good. Jason looks good. Agreed. New York are amazing. Part 8 is perfect. Ugh, that's a bit of a stretch. But I don't hate part 8. I'll say that. I don't hate it. Let's see. How do you like Elm Street remake more than part 2? Well, I'll explain it when I get there, buddy. Elm Street 2 is one of my favorite Elm Streets. The Darkness of Freddy is perfect. Yes, that is the best part about Nightmare Part 2 is the darkness of Freddy. I want my Freddy being dark, morbid, and screwed up in the head. And they really lean into that in part 2. They really give you a dark, menacing Freddy in part 2. That's the best thing about Nightmare Part 2 is the depiction of Freddy is spot on. Great job with that. That I would agree with 100%. See, Freddy just kills everyone. I love it. Top 3 guess is Friday Part 4, Elm Street. Okay, so Mason is guessing that my top 3 are Friday Part 4, the original Elm Street, and the original Halloween. We'll see. We will see. Man's got taste in Halloween 3. From Texas is saying, I actually love Freddy's Revenge. Freddy is still scary. The bus opening is fantastic. That is a very good opening. Great score. I like some of the kills, and actress Kim Myers looks exactly like Meryl Streep. Yes, she does. She could pretty much be her twin. All right, moving on to the next 5. My number 19. Number 19. I'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way so that Mason doesn't have a heart attack. Nightmare remake. Nightmare on Elm Street remake 19. 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars, what I would call a decent film. Not a bad film, but not a good film. It's a decent film. That's what I think of Nightmare, the Nightmare remake. 2.5 star film. It's decent, not good, not bad. I could take or leave it. If someone came over and wanted to watch Nightmare remake, cool. Let's do it. Let's order a pizza. Let's watch Nightmare remake. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, it's not a movie that I'm gonna go out of my way to watch. If it happens to be on, if someone happens to want to watch it and want me to watch it with them, all right. I can sit through it and get some enjoyment and some entertainment out of it. I think Jackie Earl Haley does a great job as Freddy Krueger. He nails it. This is a dark Freddy, a very dark, menacing Freddy. There's really virtually no humor to him at all, which I actually kind of prefer. I would much rather my Freddy not be comedic and fully dark and have no humor to him than being fully comedic and not having any horror to him. So if you're going to lean one way or the other, I would much rather you lean on the side of keeping them dark and not have humor. But I love Jackie Earl Haley in this movie. To me, he's the best part of this movie. Love what he does. He's not trying to impersonate Robert Englund. He's making the character his own, but still stays true to who Freddy is. So I respect him for that. I think it's got some really bloody, good kills in the movie. The story is an entertaining story to me, so it's got some things going for it. It is flawed. It definitely has its issues. I'm not denying that. But overall, I think it's a decent film. So, the Nightmare remake is my number 19. Moving on to 18. Number 18, we have Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, also known as Halloween Part 6, 2.5 star film. A decent film. Again, I kind of like it. It's very flawed. Both versions, the producer cut and theatrical cut, are very flawed. But it is entertaining. I love the tone. I love the atmosphere. I love the look of Michael. The score is good. I do actually kind of like the main girl in this film. It's got things going for it. So yeah, it's a decent film. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but I don't think it's bad. Just kind of again right there in the middle. If it was between this and the Nightmare remake, I would be more likely to rewatch Halloween Part 6. So that's why it takes the nod over the Nightmare remake for me personally. Coming in at 17, number 17. Let's see, what do we got? We have number 17, Friday the 13th, Part 3. Also a 2.5 star film, a decent film, decent time. There's things that I like about it, things that I are entertaining. I have fun with. I do think it does have some issues for sure, but overall, yeah. I mean, I like the setting. I like the setting. I like Jason. I think Richard Brooker does a great job as Jason. Very menacing. He's got some great kills. I love the makeup on Jason in this film. It's definitely got some things going for it. Some gnarly kills, the head squish, it's just badass. Yeah, it's decent. It's a decent enough time for me to be entertained with it. I'm not a fan of the final girl, and not a fan of the biker characters. I don't think they really do a whole lot for the story. I think the production value is pretty low. Some of the acting is just not there, almost cringe worthy with some of the acting here. Yeah, it's flawed. It's flawed, but it's entertaining at the same time. So overall, it just kind of lands right there in the middle for me. 2.5 stars. Number 17. Number 16. Number 16, and I will just go ahead and say, from this point, from number 16 on up, I like all of these movies. Number 16 on up, I like all of these movies. So these would all be 3 stars and higher. My number 16 is a 3-star film, and it is Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, or also known as Halloween remake. A 3-star film. I do like this movie. I think this is the first movie on this list that I would consider a good film. I do think that Rob Zombie has some really good direction in this film. I like the score. I do like some of the performances. I like some of the characters here. I think it does have some heart to it. It's got some gnarly kills in it. Tyler Mane is very intimidating and is the exact opposite of Pamela Voorhees, who's not intimidating at all. Tyler Mane, I would be, shooting bricks at my pants if I crossed him in an alleyway. So yeah, he's a bad boy, man. But yeah, I like Rob Zombie's first Halloween. I do, much better than his second one. It also has some issues. I'm not a fan of them just making Michael into a serial killer and not the Shape. Not a fan of that decision. Not a fan of the brother-sister storyline. Not a fan of some of the dialogue, just really crass and unpleasant dialogue to hear or listen to. Some really deplorable characters in here as well. So yeah, it's got issues for sure. And again, I don't like them not making him the Shape. Some people aren't bothered by that. And if you're one of the people that aren't bothered by that, kudos to you, man. That's great. More power to you. But for me, with Michael, with me first coming into Halloween, knowing that Michael was the boogeyman, knowing that he was the shape, that is what scared me about Michael. But when you take that element away and you just make him a man, just a serial killer, just doesn't work for me. So, yeah, I still like it. It's a good slasher movie. It's a good, serial killer movie, good horror movie. I like it, but that's about all I have with this movie. It's a good time. 3 stars, number 16. All right, let's catch up on the comments on the chat, see what we got going on here. Dark is Freddy. He's not Robert. Sometimes I like funny Freddy. Sometimes I like dark. If you can balance it well with dark Freddy and comedic Freddy, it works. I think one of the movies on here nails it perfectly. But if you're going to go to the extreme of have him either be totally comedic and no horror like they do in Freddy's Dead, or go to the other extreme and have him be all serious and horror with no comedic to him, no comedy to him, I would prefer give me the dark version instead of the humor version. So, but yeah, ideally you want to kind of find the balance with the horror and humor, because that's what makes Freddy so entertaining, is his personality, that dark, twisted personality. So if you can find a balance, that's ideal. I think one movie does it perfectly. I think 2 other ones get really close to doing it perfectly. But yeah. Let's see. How do you like New Nightmare over Part 2? Because New Nightmare still has, for me, it has a coherent story that makes sense. Part 2 is supposed to be in continuity with the first one, where they've already established the rules of the nightmares and of the dream world and of what Freddy can do. And then they completely digress from that and give you a whole new set of rules that don't make any sense with the first one. But in the remake, they're essentially taking the original premise and reviving that and modernizing it. But you're getting a set of rules established in the first one, and I think you also spend more time it in the dream sequence. That's pretty cool. I like how the story unfolds along the way better as well. So yeah, for me, and it's not a lot. It's not like the remake is a 4-star film and Part 2 is a 1-star film. It's half-star difference between the two, right? Nightmare Part 2 is a 2-star film. Nightmare Remake is a 2.5-star film. So there's only half-star difference. But I do think overall, viewing experience included, I think the Nightmare Remake is better than Part 2. Let's see. He is not Robert. He's not, but he's not trying to be Robert. Sometimes I like Freddy. Sometimes I like, let's see. Halloween 6 is fine. Yeah, it's decent. What could Halloween 6 do you like more? I prefer the theatrical cut over the producer's cut. The producer's cut makes more sense if you're just following the story. As far as storytelling, the producer cut is more coherent. It makes more sense, but I don't like the story. I would rather have the story gaps and the logic gaps in the theatrical cut, but still have a more enjoyable experience with it, than have the more coherent story in the producer's cut, but not enjoy the story with it. So I would prefer the theatrical cut over the producer cut. That's the one I'm kind of ranking here, is the theatrical one. One of the original posters had Michael, and you can see his eyes. Not many people have seen that poster, I think. Yeah, yeah. 3 stars for Friday. 3 for Mason. I love part 3. No, it's a masterpiece. Is it though? Is it though? It's the scariest Jason for me in Friday Part 3. I've heard a number of people say that. I can respect that. I can respect that. Rob Zombie Halloween is so good. Underrated, guys. Spread the love. It's got some amazing kills. Agreed. It does have some good kills going for it. Michael's crazy in that movie. It does him good. I know someone who likes Rob Zombie Halloween 2 more. That's crazy. If you want to know who, it's my grandpa from Texas saying, "Oh man, I totally hate the Elm Street remake. One of the worst horror films and remakes I've ever watched. I'm so glad that you like it though. I'll skip it and just go rewatch 84 original. Elm Street Part 4 is perfect. Is better be high on this list. I like Halloween 3. It's vastly underrated. I love the ending of it. Great score, and I think that was that dude's ex-wife. I'm not mistaken. The score in Halloween 3 is good. The score is good. And okay, if it was his ex-wife, I will take y'all's word for it. Y'all probably seen it more recently than I have. That still doesn't make him a likable character, though. Yeah, I just yeah. And I wouldn't say that I like the Nightmare remake. It's not a good film. I just don't think it's a bad film. That's the thing. It's just it's decent. I could take or leave it. If I never saw the Nightmare remake again, I wouldn't complain about it. I could be okay with that. But I also wouldn't complain if someone wanted me to watch it with them. I could watch it as someone's like, "Hey, Clayton, let's come over and let's watch the Nightmare remake." I'm down for it. I'm down for it. You know, like I don't not like the movie, but I would say it's a good film. I wouldn't say I like it. I think it's decent. I think it's decent for me. So, all right, let's do our next 5 here. So we're on 15. Number 15. My number 15, I'm going with Jason X, 3-star film. I look, anyone who wants to argue that Jason X is a crap film, I won't argue with you. The reason this movie gets as high as it gets for me is the rewatch value and the personal enjoyment I get out of this movie. I have a blast with this movie. It's a lot of fun. I love seeing Jason just snapping necks and cashing checks, slicing and dicing. It's got some gnarly kills in it. It's actually kind of funny in some places, but I also don't think they make a parody out of Jason the way that Freddy's Dead makes a parody out of Freddy, or Halloween Resurrection makes a parody out of Michael. It's still Jason. It's just Jason in space. So I actually do like this movie overall. I think it's a good movie. It's not great. You know, I'm not saying this is a 5-star masterpiece. It's a 3-star film, but I think it's good. And it's my number 15. So yeah, Jason X, number 15. Number 14. Number 14. This one might get me in some trouble. I'm prepared for it. I'm ready. If people want to, come at me for this one, hey, I'm cool with it. I'm ready. I got broad shoulders, man. I can take it. My number 14 is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. 3-star film. I know this one is beloved by so many people. So many Nightmare fans love this movie, and that's awesome. I think that's great, and I like this movie. I like this movie. It's a 3-star film. It's a good film, but I have issues with it. One of my issues is it feels too light for me. Like all these characters act really childish in the dream sequences, and you have Wizard Master doing the dumbest childish crap that's just the horror feeling that I want to have when I come to a Freddy movie. I don't have because of the execution of the script here. There's also some weird things with Freddy's mom that's going on in this movie that make absolutely no sense. We get no explanation for it. We just have to accept it and buy the fact that this doctor can see ghosts of nuns walking around that no one else can see. For some reason, he can see them. No one else can. We're not told why. We just have to accept it. And we're not told why she's just now showing up, why he's just now seeing this ghost. And some of the characters I don't give a rat's anus about either. So I'm not as rah about this movie as some other people are. I like it. I do like it. It's a 3-star film. I enjoy it. For me, there are other Nightmare movies that are better, significantly better than Dream Warriors. But yeah, 3-star film. It's good. It's my number, 14. Number 13. Number 4 or 13. Yeah, number 13. Mason's about to get debunked here, because my number 13 is Friday Part 4, the final chapter. 3.5-star film. So we're, another tier up. This is next tier up, 3.5 stars. Really good movie, really good film. I like this one quite a bit. I do really like some of the characters. Some of the kills are great. I love Ted White as Jason. He's fantastic. I do actually really like the look and the cinematography here in this movie. Looks really good. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's not perfect. Not a fan of Teddy in this movie. He's incredibly annoying. I just want to punch him in the face every time I watch this movie. Most of the kid characters seen at the lodge, I don't give a rat's anus about. I think that they wrote off the guy that's looking for his sister. I feel like they wrote him off too early. I feel like there was a lot of meat on that bone that you could have used in this script, in the story, and they almost kill him off as quickly as they introduce him. And I just felt like they were trying to do too much. You have Tommy's family and their story. You have this other group of characters and their story. You have this other guy looking for a sister and his story. And then you have Jason and his story. And they're trying to just cram all this into an 1.5-hour script. And I don't think they pull it off as well as I would have liked them to. I like the idea. I just don't think it quite landed for me. So that it does take some hits for that. Some of the production value isn't quite on the level of some of the other ones. And it's not as rewatchable for me as a couple of the ones above it. So still a really good film. I really like Friday Part 4. I really do. 3.5-star film, man. This is a solid Friday movie. I can see why people love this movie. Some of the other Friday movies, like the original, baffles me why people love that movie. I can't understand the love for that movie. Friday Part 4, I can understand. I get it. Makes sense. I totally understand the love for this movie. It makes sense for me. And I do really like it. It's not perfection for me, but again, great. It's a solid film, man. And I have a good time with it. So Friday Part 4 is my number 13. Number 12. Let me get to number 12. We have Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Another 3.5-star film. Really enjoy this movie. I really like what they did with Freddy in this film. I think he's definitely a scarier, darker version of Freddy. It's really menacing. I think Robert Englund does a great job in this film. I love the concept, and the story is very unique, very different. I like that Wes Craven is, trying different things in this movie. Uh, and it's really entertaining. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Great concept. I think it's directed really well. The pacing is good. I feel for Heather in this movie. I'm invested with her along the way. And yeah, it's solid, man. 3.5 stars. It's my number 12. Moving into number 11. Number 11, we have where is oh, here we go. Number 11, Nightmare Part 4, The Dream Master, 3.5 star film. Really good movie. This is one that I actually do come back to quite a bit. I have a really good time with this movie. My viewing experience with Nightmare Part 4 is very positive. I like it quite a bit. A lot of the criticisms I've heard for this movie don't land for me. I don't buy a lot of the criticisms of this movie. There are some criticisms that are there. It's not perfect. I mean, it's 3.5 star film, so there are a few things that it didn't quite connect fully on. But overall, man, you get some great kills. You get a dark Freddy, but also slightly comedic. Like, I think they balance. I think they get really close to the balance of dark Freddy with humor Freddy. I think they get really close to pulling that off perfectly in this film. But some really good practical effects in it as well that I really enjoyed. Thought were pulled off really well. It's a good time, man. I really enjoy Nightmare Part 4. It's one of my favorite Freddy movies, and it's yeah, number 11 for me. So all right, let's go to the comments and see what you guys are saying. Let's see what we got. See what we got. All right. How is Jason X that high? Because it's fun. So there's three. I'll just go ahead and tell you because I don't think I said this in the beginning. There are three criteria for me that go into rating a film. Three criteria. One of them is the technical side of the filmmaking. How well made is the production value? The writing, the script, the directing, the acting, all of that. The technical side of things. How well made is the film? That's the first criteria. Second criteria is the emotional effect that it had on me. What did it do for me emotionally? Did it excite me? Did it inspire me? Did it horrify me? Did it make me laugh my socks off? Did it put me on the edge of my seat? Like what was the emotional effect? That's the second criteria. And then the third criteria is the rewatch value. How rewatchable was the film? And my personal enjoyment and entertainment with the film. So those are my three criteria. That's why Jason X comes in where it comes in, because the excitement is definitely there and the rewatch value is definitely there. I have a really good time with that movie. So it's overall, I think it's a good film based on those three criteria. Let's see. Mason, I love Elm Street 3. A lot of people do. I know I'm in the minority not having Nightmare Part 3 as my top 2 for the Nightmare franchise, but again, I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. I keep it 100 with y'all. So let's see. Freddy Part 3 is amazing. He is. That's the other one. I think they get almost perfect on balancing the horror and comedic side of Freddy. Let's get high. That's a great line. Let's see. Only 13 ways. Friday 13th. Get it. Let's see. The kid in that movie gets me mad. Crispin Glover's dance. Craziness. Very likable characters in this chapter. The twins. The corkscrew. Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew? Ted. corkscrew. Great scene, and great kill that follows. Uh, let's see. How do you hate Friday 1? It's amazing, feel good, classic. Hey man, more power to you, Mason. And that's, I love that you like that movie. I love when people can get enjoyment out of movies that I get zero enjoyment out of. Like I said, to me, that original Friday is just a crap film, man. There's nothing good about it. Nothing good it's got going for it. So, yeah. Bro, New Nightmare is not my thing. I get it. I see why. Like it for anyone that doesn't like New Nightmare, I can understand. I can understand. But for me, it works. For me, it comes together for me. Um, New Nightmare is the seventh. Yes, it's the one that came after Freddy's Dead. My two least favorite Elm Streets are the remake and the New Nightmare. Your two least favorite are the remake and New Nightmare. Oh, okay. Okay. I love Elm Street Part 4. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. As far as like just Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 4 is one of my favorites in that franchise. I'm with you on that one. I don't like Humor Freddy. Me neither. From Texas saying, I love Elm Street 3. I love the look of the film. Great music. More Freddy. And Nancy is my favorite character from the franchise. So it was good to see her again as well. Yeah. Yeah. She's good in the movie for sure. Jason X is so cheap. So cheap. It is. Again, anyone who wants to criticize Jason X for the production value, I got no problems with you. It's not Chinatown, we're not talking, Citizen Kane with the production value. But is it rewatchable? Is it fun? Does it give me a good time? Yes, it does. That's what brings it up for me. Um, let's see. Cronenberg in this movie, Will for 5 seconds. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of the New Nightmare. I like the meta aspect of it. Freddy is so evil and scary in it. He's darker, more evil, and again, Nancy is one of my favorite characters in the series. Yeah, from Tex, I agree with you on that. I fully agree with you. He's very dark, very evil, menacing. That's one thing I love about New Nightmare as well. 100%. Original Friday 13th is really so totally agree, Clayton. Yeah. Yeah, it's not popular opinion on the original Nightmare or the original Friday. But again, I don't apologize for it. That's how I feel about the movie. You know, what can you do? All right, so we're into the top 10 now, people. Top 10. Let's go. Yeah, kicking off my top 10. I have, where did it go? Kicking off my top 10, I have this bad boy, Friday the 13th. Oh, nope, not that one. Recomputing. Friday Part 2. That's the one we want. Friday the 13th Part 2. 3.5-star film. Really enjoy this movie. I have a lot of fun with it. I love Sackhead Jason. I love the setting, the tone, the atmosphere. I do actually really like the characters in this movie. I think it's got a great final girl, one of the best in the franchise. I love the ending with Jason and seeing his mom, or thinks that he's seen his mom. It's got some great kills. I actually like the characters in this movie. I think it's shot a lot better than the original. The cinematography in this one is much better than the cinematography in the first one. Much better. It looks a lot better as a film. The production value in this one is much better production and much better quality than the original. So yeah, I really like Nightmare Part 2, and it's so rewatchable as well. Super rewatchable. Anytime someone wants to come over and throw on, Friday Part 2, man, I'm game. I'm totally game. Really enjoy Part 2. So it's my number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have number 9. We have the original Halloween 2 from 1981, 3.5-star film. Another film that I really enjoy. I think it's a really good sequel to the original. It doesn't get. I don't think it comes close to the original as far as overall quality, but still a really good film. I do still really enjoy it. I think it's got great cinematography. It's got some really great kills. Some of my favorite kills in the franchise are in this one. It looks good. Yeah, Michael looks good in it. I love Loomis in this film. I think he's got some great moments in it. So yeah, really, and it is very rewatchable. It definitely is rewatchable. So uh, yeah, really enjoy Halloween Part 2, the original. It's got issues, it definitely has some problems. Not a fan of the score, the organ synthesizer, not a fan of. I think they could have utilized the score better in some scenes where it's just quiet. There's no score playing. That was one of the things that Carpenter did really well in the original, was the utilization of the score, not letting any scene drag or prolong in silence. Halloween 2, there's a number of scenes where there's just no noise. There's no score. There's no noise. It's just dead silence. And the tension doesn't build for me the way that it did in the first one. So I'm also not the biggest fan of Dick Warlock performance as Michael. I think for me, he felt too stiff, too wooden in his performance, very robotic. That's not how Michael moves. If you watch the first one, Nick Castle has this glide to his movements, just this glide about him that I don't think Dick Warlock had as Michael. So it's got some issues, for sure. I'm not as big on the characters in this one either. But yeah, I love the setting, the hospital setting, because hospitals creep me out. So yeah, you put Michael Myers in a hospital at night. Yeah, that works. That works for me. So yeah, Halloween 2 is my number 9. Coming in at number 8. Number 8, let's see, where is it? Where did number 8 go? All right, number 8, we have Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, the first movie on this list that I would give a 4-star rating to. I think Freddy vs. Jason is a great film. I love this movie. It is super rewatchable. It's so much fun. I have so much excitement and love for this movie when I come to it. I think this is the movie that perfectly lands and balances horror Freddy with comedic Freddy. Earlier, I was saying that there's one movie that nails that perfectly. To me, Freddy vs. Jason nails it perfectly. This is the perfect balance with Freddy. Not completely on the horror side, but they give you just enough of that dark, sadistic humor of Freddy for you to be like, yeah, that's Freddy. That's Freddy, baby. I love it. This is a movie that perfectly lands that. So yeah, I love this movie. I love the characters in this movie. I buy into them. I invest with them. I think the story is, it coherent story. It's a story that I can make sense out of. I can get from point A to point B logically, fairly. It's got some holes in the script department. and it's not perfect. I don't think that I don't think they do Jason very well in this movie. I think he was not used very well. I think part of it was in the performance. I don't think Ken Kirchsinger, whatever his name is, I don't think he did the best job as Jason in his performance. But I also think Jason was kind of, I mean, this was more of a Freddy movie than a Jason movie. Now, I understand why they did that. I understand why they did that. Freddy has a very large personality, a very large personality. He's going to dominate the screen. He's going to dominate the film that he's in. And because Jason doesn't talk, Freddy's personality is going to dominate. Like if in a Friday movie, Jason can stand out because typically you're going to get a bunch of annoying characters that you want to see get killed off anyways. So, and the way that they use Jason works in a Friday movie, but once you bring Freddy into the equation, the muteness of Jason it's not going to reach that level that of Robert Englund and his performance as Freddy. So I get why they did it. You needed Freddy and his personality to come through in this film. I think that what Jason has going for him in this movie are the kills. Like Jason fans can complain about Jason not being used very well, and they have a fair argument there. But Freddy fans can complain about Freddy not getting the kills that Jason gets in this movie because Freddy only kills one person, one or two people in the entire movie. Jason gets all the kills. He gets all the carnage candy. So, Jason fans got that going for him. Freddy fans can complain about that. So, yeah. And at the end of the day, Jason won the fight. So, as much as Jason fans want to complain about Jason not being used as well, he gets all the kills, the great kills, and he wins the fight at the end of the day. So, there you go. Life moves on. All right. It's an awesome film. It's a lot of fun. I have a blast with this movie. I love the characters. I love the performance of Robert Englund. They perfectly nail horror and comedic Freddy to a T. You can definitely see the love of these characters by the filmmakers. And I'm just glad that this movie exists. I'm glad that we finally got this movie. And regardless of all the issues that there are with this movie, and there are issues, we got to see Freddy and Jason throw down, and I just love that we have this movie. So yeah, Freddy vs. Jason is my number 8. Moving on to number 7. Number 7, we have Halloween Kills. 4-star film. Halloween Kills. Number 7. Great movie. I love this movie. As a Michael fan, I love how they use Michael in this film. He is a absolute savage in this movie. He gets his highest body count. He gets some gnarly kills. He is used perfectly in this movie. He's a beast. He's frightening. The scene where he's coming out of the house that's on fire and he's wielding that axe, bro, such an iconic scene. Yeah, this is the shape. This is the Michael that I love. The 78 throwback. I remember watching that in the theater and feeling my dick get hard off that. That was, dude. You want to see me excited? You should have been with me in the theater when I saw this movie and saw that 78 throwback, bro. I was It was amazeballs is what it was. So I love this movie. It's 4 stars. Great film. They nail Michael. Again, the look is great. The performance by James Hugh Courtney, masterful. He is my favorite Michael. He is my favorite Michael Myers. I think he brings the brutality of Tyler Mane with the gracefulness of Nick Castle and his movement. I think he resembles Nick Castle the closest in his movement and in his performance, but also resembles Tyler Mane the closest in his brutality. So he brings the best of both, and Michael, and that's why he's my favorite. He's the perfect Michael. I love the mask. I love the look. Yeah, just great film. Not perfect. You know, I'm not a fan of the evil dies tonight BS that they threw in here, and the stupid side thing with Tommy thinking that this hospital guy is Michael Myers when hello, welcome to the 21st century, Buck Rogers. There's a thing called the internet that you can go look up a picture of Michael Myers and you can find out what he looks like. Why would you think this guy's Michael Myers? He doesn't resemble Michael Myers at all. He doesn't look anything like he would be Michael Myers, and he's talking. So why would you think that this is Michael? To me, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't even like Tommy in this movie. He can RIP. He can go pound sand, and Michael makes him go pound sand. So yeah, it's not perfect. There's some legitimate criticisms of this film, but overall, great film. Great film. I love it. It is number 7 for me. Number 6. Number and 6 and 7 were very close. Of all of these positions, I would say 6 and 7 are the closest for me. But yeah, number 6 is Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. 4-star film, great movie. This and Halloween Kills are very, very close. But at the end of the day, I do feel like I'm drawn back to Friday Part 6 more often than I am Halloween Kills, because I think the script is better in this one. I think the story is executed better in this one. I love the characters. It's so much fun. I get the enjoyment and the fun of Halloween Kills with a better script and story in this one. So that's why it kind of edges Halloween Kills for me. I think CJ Graham does a good job as Jason. I love the setting. The pacing is perfect. It's got some heart to it. I love the third act. Tommy on the lake, surrounded by fire. Jason coming after him. The stakes feel higher because there's kids involved. It's just, yeah, it's a blast, man. It's a blast. I love Friday Part 6. Yeah, it's my number 6. Part 6 is my number 6. I didn't even plan that. I didn't plan that. I just now realized that Friday Part 6 is my number 6. How convenient. All right, let's see what the chat is saying before we do our top 5 and close this thing out. Let's see what we got. Mason saying, did you know Jason was in Star Wars in space? There's a lot of pacing problems. I can agree with that. Guys, I have to go. Terry, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for, coming in and supporting the channel, buddy. Hope you have a great day, great weekend, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Let's see. Mason, yes, I love part 2 from Texas. Bye. Have a nice day. Part 2 is the first Friday I ever saw. That's awesome, Mason. Friday Part 2 is the first one you saw. Terry saying thanks for live, Clayton. Yeah, man. I enjoy kicking it with you guys. Enjoy reading y'all's comments. I love it. It's awesome, man. Thanks for being here. They saying love Halloween 2. Uh, my Halloween 2, aka Michael goes to the doctors. That's awesome. Let's see. Halloween 2 is supposed to be the end of Michael, but thankfully it wasn't. Yeah, it was supposed to be, but didn't go that way. I love Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. Was great. Some people can't tell who won the fight because Jason holds Freddy's head, but he winks at us. So who won? Yeah, I mean, Jason won the fight. Like, yes, Freddy winked at the camera, but he lost his head. Jason was the last guy standing. Jason was the last guy standing. In any fight, the last guy standing is the winner. If you watch the UFC, the guy that gets loses the fight, even though he's not dead. No one kills anybody in the UFC in the octagon, but people still win the fight because they're the last guy standing. They KO the other person. They're the ones that walks away. So if you're the last guy standing in a fight, you win the fight. Period. You don't have to kill someone to beat. Dude, Batman didn't kill Superman in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, but he won the fight. Batman beat Superman in that fight. He was the last guy standing. He had Superman pinned. He won the fight. Did he kill him? No. You don't have to kill someone to win the fight. But Jason won that fight. He beat Freddy. He was the last guy standing. Jason won the fight. I don't think, I think people overcomplicate it. Like, but Freddy winked. Freddy winked. So Jason won the fight. He won. Period. So there you go. Let's see. This is the longest live stream we have, gone over 2 hours. Yeah, I know. We got to wrap it up, man. We got 5 more. I'll knock them out. Let's see. Did some good. I was so excited seeing him kills. Evil dies tonight. Became, yeah. Friday Part 6, one of my favorite movies. Hey, dude, you had told me before that you weren't a fan of Halloween H2O, which shocked the hell out of me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of H2O. But Michael's just too robotic in Halloween 2. The dude moves slower than hell in that film. He does. That bothered you about it? It did. It bothered me that he moved that slow, because that's not Michael. Like, when you watch how Nick Castle moves in the original, Dick Warlock doesn't resemble that in Halloween 2. And part of that is because he didn't do his homework. He didn't even pay attention to how Nick Castle moved. He literally just stopped by the office, Deborah Hill's office, saw the mask on the table, picked it up, asked Deborah Hill if he could play Michael. She said yes, and then that was it. Like, dude, do your homework, bro. Like, if you're going to play Michael Myers, maybe you should pay attention to how the last guy played him, so you can be in continuity with that performance and play it similarly. And he did it. And it just came off very wooden and stiff and robotic. And it didn't resemble Michael to me. So, all right. We're almost at 2 hours and 20 minutes, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to just go ahead and power through my top 5 here. Shouldn't be any surprise. There's only 5 movies left. So, yeah, here we go. My number 5 is Halloween 4, Return to Michael Myers. Love this movie. Great time. Super rewatchable. Saw it twice in 1 week. Almost saw it a third time. Great film. Love it. 4 stars. Number 3. Wait, no, that was number 5. Number 4. We need number 4. We have the original Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, 4.5-star film. Great film. Love it. Still my favorite Nightmare movie. I still think it's the best. Still holds up for me. Love Nancy Thompson. Love Robert Englund as Freddy. Love the direction by Wes Craven. The production design is great. Production value is good. The characters are enjoyable. I really invest with Nancy. It's just a great film. Great visual effects. Um, it's a blast. It's an absolute blast and an absolute classic. I love the original Nightmare on Elm Street. 4.5 stars. Now coming into my number three, Friday the 13th movie, which is, of course, the remake. 4.5 stars. Great film. I loved it. I've talked about this movie ad nauseum. I reviewed it, loved it. Yeah, it's almost a perfect film for me. I think it's easily the best Friday movie. Miles better than the original. Miles better than the original. Anyone who says the original Friday is better than the remake is on crack. They're on crack, bro. Yeah. They're living in crack city is what they're doing. So yeah. Friday remake, my favorite Friday movie, number 3, 4.5 star film. I freaking love this movie, man. Bringing us into the top 2, 1 and 2. You guys already know what it is because there's only 2 movies left. Number 2, and both of these movies are 5-star films. Number 2 is 2018 Halloween, 5 stars. Perfect film, in my opinion. I love it. The criticisms I've heard of this movie don't hold up at all. They don't have any weight to them. I think the criticisms of this movie are bogus, easily debunked. I've debunked essentially every criticisms I've heard of this movie. I've debunked. There's only one valid criticism of it, that is a minor criticism for me, but it's not enough to stop this movie from still being a perfect movie, because my experience and my love for this movie is still so high that the one minor criticism is forgivable. So yeah, it's still a perfect film. It's great. It's come the closest of all the Halloween movies to reaching and matching the original. Doesn't quite get there, but did a heck of a job, man. Love this movie. Perfect film, 5 stars. It's my number 2. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, my number 1, this bad boy right here. 78, baby. 1978 is where it's at. The original Halloween, 5-star film, perfection. Just the greatest horror film of all time. My favorite horror film of all time. Yeah, classic. The Boogeyman, Michael Myers. Yeah, I love this movie. It's my heart and soul. It introduced me to Michael Myers. It's got a special place in my heart. I will always love this movie. It will always have my heart. And it's my baby. Halloween is my baby. So there you go, guys. The big 3, man. We ranked them, all 33 films. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I know we went a little long. I appreciate all you guys hanging in and kicking it with me through this. Let's catch up on the comments real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap things up here. Let's see. Love Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills, that was some good. Absolutely. Halloween Kills and loved it. Friday Part 6, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, it's great. Hey dude, you had told me, oh yeah, I already read that one. Original Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite of the Elm Street franchise. Great music, love Nancy, great kills, great scores. Freddy is a filthy child murderer who gets you in his dreams. Yeah, that original Nightmare is a blast, an absolute blast. I love it. That's it, guys. We'll wrap things up. I got some things to do as well, but man, I love all you guys. Love all you guys. Thanks for kicking it with me. Um, hope you all have a great Father's Day. Let your dads know you love them. Have a great weekend. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, kick it and rock on. Deuces.